Hey there, this is Andrew, and I am going to bring you a Vault Master deck opening. Interesting. I actually don't know the full list still of cards in Vault Masters. Guess I should go over that at some point. I think kind of what I need to do is do my set reviews for Winds of Exchange, because some of those cards I haven't covered, and then do it for Vault Master. Alright, so this is Master Benoist of Jerezaltar. And we've got a nice purple Archon here. What do I think? Think we're going to get Untamed, Saurian, and Logos. Okay, well, I got Logos right, and then Star Alliance and Brobnar. So I'm hoping for some good board control, amber generating, etc. Brobnar here. And then in Logos speed, there's really interesting speed options in Logos Vault Masters. And then Star Alliance, some house cheating, and yeah, speed there too. We'll see. We'll see what we get. All right. So first should be Brobnar here. Whoa, a War Grumpus with 2 draw pips. That's interesting. I'm not a huge fan of War Grumpus, but I guess here it could be good. So after it fights or reaps, you ready and fight with a neighboring giant. And it's really the giant part that bothers me, because if this were a neighboring creature, I think this would be fine. This would be pretty good. But the stipulation it has to be next to a giant is just too specific, in my opinion. But 2 drop pips on it is interesting. Then we have Sound the Horns, an action with an amber. When you play it, you discard cards from the top of your deck until you either discard a Brobnar creature or run out of cards. If you discarded a Brobnar creature this way, you put it into your hand. That's great. We've got a Vow of Blood, action with an amber. When you play it, you deal 2 damage to each damaged enemy creature, and it has 2 damage enhancements. That's fine. Ooh, we've got a Berserker Slam, action with an amber. Deal 4 damage to a flank creature. If this damage destroys that creature, its controller loses 1. Oh, we've got another Berserker Slam. That's great. A third Berserker Slam. Love it. And this one got a draw pip. That's great. Ooh. We've got Brick Nasty. I like it. 5 power Giant Brocken. After another friendly Brobnar creature fights, you gain an amber. We've got a second Brick Nasty. This one with a draw pip. Great. Drummerknot, 6 power giant with after it's played, after it fights, or after it reaps, you return another friendly giant creature to your hand. Gron Ninetoes. I have to say, this is interesting because it helps us, refresh the Brick Nasties. And these are a lot of good targets for the War Grumpus, so alright, maybe it's okay. Gron Ninetoes is a 5 power giant. It has +4 power while it's damaged. Very nice. Headhunter, 5 power giant. After it fights, you gain an amber. Wow. You have this and 2 Brick Nasties. Fight, gain 3. Wow. And then Rant and Rive, action with an amber. This one got a damage on it. When you play it, if your opponent has 8 or more amber, they lose half of their amber, rounding it down. Alright, that's a pretty interesting Brobnar. We got 6 amber pips. That's pretty good. 3 draw pips, 2 damage pips. A lot of board control, some amber control too. Rant and Rive and 3 Berserker Slams. Decent targets for the War Grumpus. And the 2 Brick Nasties could really make the deck go fast. No play abilities to work with the Drummernaut, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. There's good stuff in there. All right, let's see what we get in Logos. First off, Academy Training. It's an upgrade. If you control this creature, it belongs to House Logos, and it gets after Reap, draw a card. Nice. And that actually could be really nice on the War Grumpus in a right circumstance, you know. Reap, draw 1, and then get to fight with a giant. Causal Loop is an action. When you play it, you archive a card and also archive Causal Loop. It's fine. Eureka, that's good. Action with an amber. It has alpha, so it has to be the first card you play or use on your turn. When you play it, you gain 2 amber and you archive 2 random cards from your hand. Archimedes is a 2-power cyborg beast with elusive, and it gives its neighbors destroyed archive this creature. So that's kind of cool. That could work nicely with some of the Brobnar stuff. I mean, throw the Brick Nasties next to this if you can. Armadrone is a 1-power robot with 3 armor. After it fights, you steal an amber. Binate Rupture is an action, also alpha. When you play it, each player gains amber equal to the amount of amber they have, so you double both players' amber. Edai is a 3-power AI scientist that makes your opponent's keys cost +1 for each card in your archives. When you play it, you archive a card, and notice it has a draw pip. This one does. That's pretty good with the Eureka and with the Causal Loop, honestly. That's pretty cool. Then we've got Effervescent Principle. When you play it, each player loses half their amber rounded down, and then you gain a chain. That's nice, going with the Rant and Rive. And I see a pattern here where you can boost the cost with the Edai, and then burn the amber down with Effervescent and Rant and Rive when the moment comes. So that seems great. Then we've got Alethologica. It's an action with an amber. When you play, this works like Sound the Horns, but it's just looking for a Logos card. Cool. We've got Mother, a 5-power robot scientist that has you refill your hand to 1 additional card during your draw card step. That's great. We've got Phase Shift. It's an action. When you play it, you may play a non-Logos card this turn. Wow, nice house cheating there. And then Titan Engineer is a 6-power cyborg scientist. While it's not on a flank, keys cost +1 amber. Very interesting. Huh. So we've got some cost boosting, a lot of amber destruction, amber loss. Yeah, seems interesting. Only 2 amber pips in the Logos, although I'd count at least 2 more from the Eureka. Binate is a little tricky to get to work right, but there's probably enough generation in this deck that it could work, so I find that interesting. Let's see what we get in Star Alliance. First off, Amber Tracker, a 4-power beast. When you play it, you deal 2 damage to each enemy creature with amber on it, and that damage can't be prevented by armor, which is cool. We've got Captain Val Jericho. That's excellent. Captain Val is a 5-power leader and human with 1 armor. While she's in the center of your battle line, you can play 1 card that is not of the active house during your turn. So, I mean, that's great. And I think, one thing I'll say here is we have enough big creatures going on that I think our chance of keeping Val on the board is pretty decent. It does make the War Grumpus a little trickier, though. If you're trying to put giants next to it, it means you're having to build out 1 wing when maybe you need to balance. Then we have New Frontiers. It's an action with an amber. When you play it, you choose a house, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and archive each card of the chosen house and discard the others. Very nice speed. And wow, this with the Eureka and the E-Die, it seems like this could be a pretty fast deck. Quintrino Warp is an action. It has you choose a friendly creature and an enemy creature, and then destroy those creatures and each creature that shares a house with either of them, and then gain a chain. So nice last-ditch board control option there. Commander Chan is a 4-power human. After he fights or reaps, you use another friendly creature. Nice house cheating. Great. CPO Zytar is a 4-power scientist, proximan, and alien with 1 armor. He enhances with a damage and 2 draws, and we probably got another one. Yep. So these are just bodies now, which that's kind of a bummer, but it's okay. First Officer Frayne is a 4-power human. This one got a damage on her, and after she is played, fights, or reaps, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. 2 of those, great. So more amber control. And then we have Future Booster, an artifact with an amber. This one got a damage on it. It's an item. You omni to look at the top card of your deck, and you may put it on the bottom of your deck. Nice deck shaping tool there. We've got Sensor Chief Garcia, who is a 3-power human that after being played, fighting, or reaping, makes your opponent's keys cost +2 during their next turn. Then we've got another Garcia. Wow, this is so much cost boosting. That can be really nice. And then let's see. How much amber in this? Another very low here, 2 in this house. So overall, only 10 amber pips, which is pretty low. I think there's a high possibility to burst in the Brobnar if your creatures can stay on the board, and it just seems like the deck probably could be pretty fast, and it has tools to burn your opponent's amber down. Effervescent, but also Rant and Rive, which is one-sided, which is great, and enough archiving going on, I feel like, archiving and capturing to kind of always have a way to slow your opponent down a little bit. It seems good. How many creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 creatures. So it is a pretty creature heavy deck. 20 is not insanely high, but it is on the high end. Interestingly, though, I mean, a lot of these Star Alliance ones would have very nice interaction with the Archimedes, so that's cool. Yeah, I really like this. I'm going to have to try this out and see how it actually plays. That was Master Benoist of Jerezaltar. It's funny. I have not yet seen a Vault Master deck that I just thought, wow, I wish I would want to actually play that at a Vault Tour, because they seem fine, but I just don't think it's as crazy as some people think. But these E-Die builds, that's pretty good, and if you can set up, yeah, like this has potential to be good. So I'm excited to try it out. It feels like it would probably play most similarly. I mean, this feels like a Worlds Collide deck, really, in a lot of ways, but with a much better Brobnar than you would get in Worlds Collide. So that's cool. I mean, just Berserker Slam is probably the best Brobnar card from Worlds Collide, and we got 3 of those. That's great. All right, cool. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll get out there and forge some keys.